What's going on, everybody? I'm Coach Sal.
I'm Coach Kate.
I'm Coach Alex.
We are Monrovia FBBC Boot Camp. Coach Christian isn't here right now, but he'll be joining us on the next installment of Foodie Friday. So for the month of May, we will be doing Foodie Friday, or for this next month, we'll be doing Foodie Friday, which basically is you guys are gonna get to know the entire team on all 4 locations are putting together a series of videos to be able to hit you guys up every day on different topics. Ours is food because we love to eat. We really do love to eat. So Foodie Friday is gonna range from different topics, from everything from healthy tips, recipes, and just good snacking tips and just good ideas on how to not only eat well, but enjoy what you're doing at the same time. So what we want to talk about today is cravings. We all get them. I know I do quite often, and I know these guys do as well. So yeah, we're gonna break it down really simple though. So we're gonna talk about 2 major reasons why we have cravings, and then how to really counter those 2 types of cravings. So one of the main reasons, Alex?
You guys might know this reason that I'm about to talk about is just under eating in general. Many times we don't eat enough throughout the day to be able to fulfill our bodies with the things we need to be able to sustain that energy and stay awake as well. Because sometimes we do want to take naps in between work shifts or during our schedule or during our lunch break, things like that. So we need to be able to eat enough throughout the day to avoid that snacking, avoid those cravings.
Yeah, definitely. So, when we don't, there's 2 ways to not eat enough. One would be a big meal in the morning and then a big meal at night, and then you have this 10, 12-hour disparity in between in which you're starving your body. And so the body wants to fulfill the needs or the requirements of energy. And so it starts to think, well, I'm not going to eat for long periods of time. So when you do go to eat, you eat a lot. And the 2 things you're going to eat a lot of are greasy foods for fats and sweets for sugars and carbs, which again are 2 main sources of energy. The other way would be when you eat like snacking style throughout the entire day, where you don't have complete meals and you're just nibbling here, nibbling there. It's another form of starvation that really does the exact same thing, just in a different route. So we want to make sure that we're eating consistently, 3, 4, 5 meals a day, portioned out. And remember, you always have the hand symbols, carbs, protein right by the knuckles, and then fats with the fingers up top. But we'll talk a little bit more of that on another episode of our Foodie Friday. So that's one reason. Kat, you want to tell us another reason?
Yeah, so another reason would be like stress, anxiety, depression, hormone imbalance, pregnancy, there's a huge list of things like that can cause that. So
yeah, it's the emotional reaction. And so especially with things like stress, anxiety, and depression, your body is in a stress state, in a low state, and it's kind of, the mind is down. So what it wants to do is counter that, and food is a number 1 way to release a natural neurotransmitter serotonin, which makes us feel better. So, brings back joy into our lives. And so, of course, we do the things that pleases us the most. Sweets is probably the number 1 thing, but then not everybody always has a sweet tooth. Some people have that fat tooth. One of my indulgence is chicharron, and I'm talking about the deep fried pork skins. I love those things, not the ones you buy in the store, but the ones you buy behind a deli that are even super greasy. I love those things. I grew up that way, and so I gotta watch out how much of that stuff I eat because it'll clog your arteries. But again, another reason your body reacts to cravings or goes for cravings is because it's trying to counteract stress factors or anxiety or depression. So let's talk about 2 ways first on how to let's talk about how to counter both of them. One is the starvation factor, the energy source. Of course, we said eat 4, 5, 3 meals a day, balanced meals throughout your day, spread them out, make them balanced so that you have a good carb source, a good fat source, a good protein source, and of course, there's always plenty of veggies in there. And then that's the best way to counter that starvation factor or the energy source. The second way in terms of anxiety and depression is to work it out, honestly, get that energy out. There's a million other ways to relieve that stress, to build that energy boost up when you work out. I mean, most people after they work out, they have that boost of energy. They feel so much better, and it's a natural release to the mind, telling it you're in a better state. So clarity and a lot of those things, and so you won't automatically want to go and starve yourself. I'm sorry, or go feed yourself and find you're already fulfilled that need or desire to counter that stress or to counter that depression, to counter that anxiety. I did it for a very long time, being in the state that I was in for a while. Exercise, it's how I got here, literally how I got to be a health and fitness coach, being in the health industry, realizing just how much exercise made me healthier overall, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And then from there, everything just catapulted. So that's why I do what I do now. So those are two main ways to counter that. But let's say you're already in that place where you're craving and you're looking to satisfy those cravings. So we came up with a couple ideas on different things. So two main things people crave is salt and sweets, right? Fats, usually fats, because fats are salty. It's usually what we taste. So we're talking salts. Something that I do, I'll have cucumber, and so I use cucumber, lemon, and tahini as a snack. It's a good healthy snack, and you crave that satisfaction of this. My mouth is watering right now. I'm talking about it. And you can do an array of vegetables in that with lemon and salt and tahini that really will help you. And I know some people say, well, salt, that's pretty bad for you. Salt is bad for people who are sedentary, who sit in a chair all day and aren't active. When you're an active person, salt is not bad for you. It's actually really good for you. So understand that, again, your physical activity plays a role in how you manipulate different things that you're placing into your body. The more physical you are, the less likely that these things are bad for you. Matter of fact, they're actually good for you. Kale chips, dry seaweed, flaxseed crackers. There's and cheese. There's an array of things that you can do that are healthier and you can mix and match all these things. Hummus is another good thing with flaxseed chips or kale chips or something of that nature that'll help give you a little bit more satiation as you're eating, meaning make you feel more full when you're doing that. And of course, nuts. There's just an array of nuts that you can have that are really, really good. In terms of sweets, it's the common thing. Fruits. I've heard this so many times where fruit has so much sugar. I tell you what, I challenge anybody out there, if you could name me one person who ever became overweight from eating fruit, I will give you $100. I swear to God, I will. It just doesn't happen. And not to mention, when you eat fruit, you also gain so many vitamins and minerals that you don't get from eating other things. You want those things in your life. And again, you satisfy a sweet craving. I would get a banana, slice it up, put it in the freezer. Then with a little bit of almond milk, you can go ahead and make that a little smoothie, and you got some good. What's up, Javon?
Hey,
Javon's on Foodie Friday. Say hi, Javon.
Hey!
So another way that we can do that is, that's a good sweet you can have, a snack you can have on the weekend or at night when you're craving ice cream or craving something like that. You can get some yogurt with fruit. Put that in the freezer, blend it up with a little bit of almond milk. Again, these are just quick tips that you could have. Whipped cream is actually very healthy in the sense that there's not too many calories in it. It's a good healthy fat. And again, it's a little bit of sweetness to it with fruit as well. Peanut butter or any of the almond butters,
My personal favorite is celery and peanut butter. You veggies, get peanut butter in there too as well.
Bam.
I don't know how you guys feel about that combo, but it's pretty good.
Cottage cheese, and people sometimes think that's kind of crazy, but you can satisfy two birds with one stone and get a good fat source. And it's a protein source, but it's a good fat source as well. Cottage cheese with fruit. Pineapple is actually pretty good. I don't know if you guys ever had it. I actually enjoy it. It's pretty good. But there's different ways to counter these things and go for a healthier choice than going for ice cream or going for chocolate every time. If you're gonna go for chocolate, I can never pronounce this right, but you want to go 70% cocoa, cacao, however you pronounce it. You guys know what I'm talking about, but that deep, rich, natural chocolate is really what you want to stay away from the milk chocolate and go more that route. But these are better ways to fulfill that sweet tooth, be healthier, not put a lot of the junk in your body, and gain healthier, nutritious, micronutrients. We're always talking about those big nutrients, protein, fats, and carbs, but the vitamins and minerals are just as important, and that's how we get them from foods like that. So that's pretty much for this episode of Foodie Friday. Want to thank you guys for watching us, and we'll see you next Friday.
Peace.